Welcome back to In Your Neighborhood. I'm your host, Charlotte Brown, and if you are just tuning in, I've been speaking with Melanie Blanchette, who's the Executive Director of the Thunder Bay and District Humane Society. And I'd like to talk a little bit more about the fundraising component of your organization. So, how important is it that you receive funds from the community to keep things going?
So we operate on donor dollars. That's it. We don't receive any government funding, any city funding. We're operational because of our community involvement, because of donor dollars, our supporters, the donations that we receive, and the fundraising efforts that we do on our own.
Absolutely. And tell me a little bit about the animals that maybe you might have right now that are there. So if people can kind of get an idea of who you take care of there.
Right now we have almost 100 cats in house. We have some nursing moms in the back with litters of kittens. So we always have an overabundance of cats. We don't ever have a shortage of cats at the Humane Society. We have a few litters of puppies that are very, very young. They're nursing in the back. They're in quarantine with their mom, and they will be for another 4 weeks. And then we have a section where we have small breed dogs, and then we have some large breed dogs. And we have some other domestic animals, some bunnies on site right now. And so just lots of different animals up for adoption.
Yeah, and let's talk about that process, that if somebody's looking to add a pet to their home, and they're looking at, should I go out and, find a puppy, or should I adopt a pet? What's kind of that process, and what is somebody doing by adopting a pet?
Well, they're providing, an abandoned or possibly an abused animal with a second chance at life, and a great home. We see a lot of senior animals coming in lately, and so, we just hope that we can place them in a foster home for their senior years. As far as the adoption process goes, it's just a matter of coming down to the shelter, meeting the animals, and if there's one there that kind of catches your heart, then we have an application process. You fill out an application. If you have animals at home, say you're applying to adopt a dog, we ask that you bring your dog in from home to come and meet this dog and make sure that there's a good relationship there. And then from there, we just kind of talk over your application and see, if it's a good fit, and then that's that. You're approved, and you take your pet home.
Take your pet home.
Yeah, and we ensure that every animal that we do adopt out is fully vaccinated, microchipped and registered to the adopter, and spayed and neutered.
And what kind of fees or cost is involved when you go down and adopt a pet?
So there is an adoption fee, and it depends on the animal. It usually is around $150 for a cat and $275 for a dog. And as I mentioned, that fee is applied to help us offset the cost of the vet care that we put into the animal. So that, that doesn't even cover the charge for the spay and neuter fee, let alone the vaccinations. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that you're getting a healthy pet that's been examined and have their vaccines up to date and all that good stuff.
Yeah, the cost that you would have to put into an animal on your own if you were to just start from scratch, you're looking at almost $1,000. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I noticed on the website you have a foster parents program. Is that something that's still going on? Or?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about that.
So we have a program where I just mentioned about the senior dogs. We have a lot of senior dogs that end up being surrendered to our shelter. And it's sad to see, and we don't want them living in a shelter environment, especially in their golden years.
Yes.
So we hope to do a lot of outreach in that case to find them a foster placement. And it's been successful thus far. We also have a feral kitten foster program. So a lot of the times we'll get litters of feral kittens that have been living in the wild for the first few months of their lives, and they really need socializing. They need a lot of one-on-one, so we'll do feral kitten fostering as well.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And if people are interested in wanting to adopt a pet or maybe even to come down and just see what's the organization's all about, maybe do a little tour, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
What kind of hours are you open?
We're open Monday to Friday from 11 to 6, and then on weekends, both Saturday and Sunday, 11 to 5.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about the area that you serve. Is it just Thunder Bay, or how far out do you reach?
Well, the Thunder Bay and District Humane Society is the only one in the entire northwestern region.
Wow.
So we receive animals from as far as Kenora, Fort Francis, Manitouwadge. So as I mentioned with our agents, they service the entire area from White River to the Manitoba border.
Wow.
So we cover the district and then some. We do some work in Fort Francis and Kenora. So yeah, we really do service quite a big hub of northwestern Ontario.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it sounds like a big job. So I'm curious as to how many people you have on your staff team doing everything.
So we have a small team of animal care workers that are constantly there providing care for upwards of 100, 120 animals. Actually we have 2 agents on staff. There's myself and my administration person, and then I have 6 animal care workers. And most of those are part-time animal care workers.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how about volunteers? How important are volunteers to the Humane Society?
Volunteers are really important. We're always looking to recruit more volunteers. The more socializing that we can have in-house with our animals, the better. Dog walking is a big activity for volunteers, and people love doing that, and it's great exercise for both people and the animals that they take for a walk or a run. We're always looking for volunteers to help with fundraising in our events. We look for people to help with third-party fundraisers.
Yeah.
And so all of this kind of keeps us going, the fundraising piece. So volunteers are definitely an intricate part of our services.
And if a volunteer was looking to get involved, is there an application, or what's the process that somebody would go through to look at an opportunity to fundraise?
Yep, so we have applications on site. We actually have them online now too. You just fill out an application and attend volunteer orientation, which we do on the weekends. We do them in group forms, and then from there, once you do your orientation, you're free to walk dogs, cat cuddle, help with maintenance or cleaning, do fundraising. Basically your choice.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, cat cuddler. That sounds like a
know,
wonderful
right?
job to have. What are you? I'm a professional cat cuddler.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, wonderful. We're going to take another quick break, Melanie.
Okay.
We're going to be right back and talk more with the Thunder Bay and District Humane Society.